Greetings neuroscience students. My name is Anita Goodpiping, and welcome to Chapter 6, the Diencephalon. This will be a brief overview. So, sharpen your pencils and find a comfy seat so we can get started. The four parts of the diencephalon. The diencephalon is located deep in the brain and has four main parts: the thalamus, hypothalamus, epithalamus, and subthalamus. Each of these parts plays an important role in controlling different functions in the body, like processing sensory information and regulating emotions. The largest part of the diencephalon. The thalamus is the largest part of the diencephalon. It acts like a relay station for most of the information that goes to and from the brain. Where is the thalamus located? The thalamus is located in the middle of the brain, sitting right on top of the brainstem. It is positioned between the cerebral hemispheres and is a key part of the central nervous system. What type of information synapses in the thalamus? The thalamus processes many types of sensory information, like touch, vision, sound, and even some movement signals, before sending it to the right areas of the brain. It's like a traffic controller, deciding where each piece of information should go. Function of the relay nuclei. The relay nuclei in the thalamus pass sensory and motor signals from the body to specific areas of the brain. They act like messengers, delivering important information to the right place in the brain. Two general sensory nuclei. The ventral posterolateral, VPL, and ventral posteromedial, VPM, nuclei are two important general sensory nuclei in the thalamus. They process touch, pain, and temperature signals from the body and face. Two special sensory nuclei. The lateral geniculate nucleus, LGN, processes visual information, while the medial geniculate nucleus, MGN, handles sound. These special sensory nuclei send visual and auditory signals to the brain's visual and auditory areas. Two motor nuclei. The ventral anterior, VA, and ventral lateral, VL, nuclei are involved in sending movement signals to help control voluntary movements. Function of the association nuclei. The association nuclei in the thalamus connect different parts of the brain that help us think, understand, and remember things. They don't just pass along sensory or motor signals but help us process higher-level thoughts and emotions. Function of the intralaminar nuclei. The intralaminar nuclei are involved in regulating consciousness, attention, and alertness. They help keep the brain active and aware of what's going on around us. Lesions to the intralaminar nuclei. If the intralaminar nuclei are damaged, it can lead to a condition called a coma or reduced levels of consciousness. This is because these nuclei are important for keeping us awake and alert. Location and function of the reticular nucleus of the thalamus. The reticular nucleus surrounds the thalamus and helps control the flow of information in and out of it. It acts like a gatekeeper, deciding which signals should go through and which should be blocked or ignored. Flow of information in the thalamus, awake versus sleep. When we are awake and alert, the thalamus allows information to flow freely, helping us stay aware of our surroundings. During sleep, the thalamus blocks most sensory signals, allowing the brain to rest. This is important because it helps us sleep peacefully without being disturbed by sounds or other stimuli. We will now take a brief recess, so get up, stretch, and shake your tail feather for a few seconds.
Cuatro, tres, dos, uno.
Ready to dive back in? Thalamic syndrome and its 3 major symptoms. Thalamic syndrome happens when the thalamus is damaged. The 3 major symptoms are 1. Pain. People may feel pain even without any real cause. 2. Loss of sensation. There may be numbness or tingling in parts of the body. 3. Movement problems. Some people have trouble controlling their muscles, leading to weakness or jerky movements. Functions of the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus controls many vital functions in the body. It helps regulate body temperature, hunger, thirst, sleep, and emotions. It also plays a key role in controlling the release of hormones that affect growth, metabolism, and stress response. Hypothalamus as a connection point between the nervous system and blood. The hypothalamus is unique because it can sense what's going on in the blood and respond to it by changing the body's behavior. For example, if the blood is too hot, the hypothalamus tells the body to sweat to cool down. Hypothalamus as the neuroendocrine connection. The hypothalamus connects the nervous system with the endocrine system by controlling the release of hormones. It tells the pituitary gland to release hormones that affect many different organs in the body. Structure and function of the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is a small, pea-sized structure located below the hypothalamus. It's known as the master gland because it releases hormones that control other glands in the body, like those that regulate growth, stress, and reproduction. ADH and oxytocin synthesis and release. Antidiuretic hormone, ADH, and oxytocin are synthesized in the hypothalamus but are released by the pituitary gland into the bloodstream. Functions of ADH. ADH helps control the body's water balance by telling the kidneys to save water. This keeps us from becoming dehydrated. Functions of oxytocin. Oxytocin plays a role in social bonding, childbirth, and breastfeeding. It helps the uterus contract during labor and allows milk to be released during breastfeeding. Diabetes insipidus, pathology and signs. Diabetes insipidus is a condition where the body doesn't produce enough ADH or can't respond to it. This causes people to urinate a lot and become very thirsty. The main signs are frequent urination and excessive thirst, leading to dehydration. Functions of the pineal gland. The pineal gland produces melatonin, a hormone that helps regulate our sleep-wake cycle. It tells the body when it's time to sleep and wake up. Melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone that is released in response to darkness. It helps us feel sleepy at night and is important for maintaining a regular sleep schedule. That's it. You made it through. I want to thank you for listening to my discussion on the diencephalon. Do come back for our discussion, where we get all in your brainstem and cranial nerves. Until next time, I'm Anita Good Piping. See you soon.
Cuatro, tres, dos, uno.